Hey guys! Okay, today I'm gonna explain how I got a 5 on all of my AP exams. I used to be the type of kid who would always fail stuff because I was just not the type of person to naturally learn, and it was really hard when a lot of my friends didn't even have to study. Like in middle school and the beginning of high school, they were never studying for anything and getting significantly higher scores than me. And I was studying and I wasn't getting those scores. So I kind of felt hopeless. I was like, there's no way. If I'm studying this much, I don't know how I could possibly improve any more. But then I learned some study tips that really, really changed my life. Okay, that sounds so serious. Okay, so when I was in 10th grade, I was kind of still getting into these new study habits. So at the beginning of the year when I was taking AP World, I kind of struggled. My teacher was really, really great, but I was struggling. Like, it wasn't until the very end of March that I really started to take things seriously and really take the resources that my teacher was giving me. Um, so I went for being predicted to get a 2 on the AP exam because we took like a little mock exam to getting a 5 in 40 days. And I have another YouTube video about it, which is really cringy, but if you want to hear specifically about AP World, go watch it. Then during my junior year of high school, I took all of those new study habits that I got in 10th grade and applied them to my AP classes, which made everything so much easier. I took AP English Language and AP Spanish Language and got 5s on both. I was not enrolled in my high school the first half of the year because I was out of the country. So when I got back, I had to take those classes in a block schedule, which basically means I was doing semester 1 and 2 all in one semester. So it was a workload of 4 AP classes, but it was only 2 exams. First, and probably most important study habit I wish I knew was to take lots and lots of practice tests. This really applies to any kind of standardized testing, specifically testing from the College Board, because they have a very specific way of writing tests, and once you learn that, it becomes so much easier. It's kind of like riding a bike. You can't read a book on how to ride a bike. You can't sit through a class on how to ride a bike. You have to actually do it before you get it. And then you need to learn from your mistakes. So let's say you fall off this bike. Are you just going to be like, okay, let's do the exact same thing I just did and see if it works this time? No, you have to see what you did wrong. So it's also just as important to look through your answers and see where you got wrong. That was one thing I really struggled with at first. I would take all these practice tests, but I never went through to look at the questions I got wrong. I would just keep taking it over and over again, which was stupid. Also, another thing is the AP exams are so long that if you're not used to sitting down and concentrating for that amount of time, you will have so much trouble. So you need to practice actually setting aside 4 hours, even if it's just once or twice, to do the whole thing. So you get used to that feeling, because doing 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, it's great. It helps a lot, but you're not getting the same experience and the pain and misery that we all go through. Okay, the second study habit I wish I knew is to put studying at the beginning of your homework schedule. This sounds kind of weird, but it's something that nobody talks about, especially for us AP students, because people think we're so smart, but the truth is, some of us have issues and nobody talks about them. So, let's say you've got a student and his name is Tom. His name is Tom. Tom is so smart. He has 4 AP classes, he has clubs, he has sports, and he has a part-time job on the weekends. So he is stressed. He does not get home in the afternoons until 9 o'clock. So he can only possibly squeeze in like 2 hours of homework before he has to go to bed, because he has to have a shower, dinner. He's got to take care of himself. So what is he going to do? Well, it seems like the smart thing to do would be to do the homework that is due most urgently, so at midnight or the next day at school first, right? Like, seems smart. And then after that, he can get to studying for his AP exams. After that, he can get to studying for that test, because worst case scenario, he just wigs it and it's not for another couple of weeks, so it's not that important, right? Wrong! The problem with that is that us AP students tend to be perfectionists. So when we start to do our homework that's due at midnight, we might never stop, because We keep wanting to add more and more and more until it's absolutely perfect before we turn it in. And the problem with this is that by the time we're done, it's time to go to sleep. We are falling asleep. So why would I study for my AP exam at midnight when it's not for another 4 weeks? I'll study tomorrow. And I would say that all the time. I would be like, I'll study tomorrow. I'm too tired. I'll study tomorrow. I'm too tired. That's procrastinating in itself. And it doesn't seem like it because you're working all day long. But the way you can fix that is by setting a timer and studying at the very beginning of your homework schedule. So what I did for AP World was I would say 20 minutes of studying and then I'm stopping. I would not allow myself to go above 20 minutes or under 20 minutes. And then I would do my homework because then I had less time. So it also forced myself to stop being a perfectionist. Third thing I recommend doing is taking sketch notes. So these are some of my notes for my AP European history class. As you can see, I draw people to represent people I need to know. I've got little bubbles. I write stuff in all caps. I underline stuff. When I first started doing sketch notes, I never really knew what to do. I didn't know what to write big, what to write small, where to draw pictures. But the more I started doing it, the easier it became. Now I physically cannot bring myself to write notes that are not sketch notes. The reason I think this is so helpful is because you're turning auditory words from your teacher, you're turning those words into a concept in your mind, and then you're turning it into an image, which activates the visual learning, and then you are practicing muscle memory as you draw these pictures. It helped me so much as I have little icons for stuff. So if I draw a person, it means it's an important person I need to know. If I draw a book, it's either the title of a book or it means that I'm about to write the background of something. If I draw cross, Christianity, a light bulb means somebody came up with a good idea or invention. I'll draw bubbles around stuff. Bubbles are more like side details, stuff that I don't absolutely need to know. I'll draw them in bubbles so that I know that it's just a further explanation if I don't understand something. The fourth thing I recommend doing is getting the Princeton and the Barron's books for your AP classes. These are so helpful because they have practice questions to do those practice tests in them. I don't use these as much for the content as I do for the practice tests because they just have so many. You can get these off of Amazon. This is not sponsored. I am actually telling you that this is a very good investment of $20. It helps so much. I have these for all of my classes. Fifth thing I recommend doing is watching lots of YouTube videos and watching them on double speed. So for history classes, I watch the John Green Crash Course videos. For AP World, the last 2 weeks before the exam, I watched every single one of those videos on double speed. For AP Lang and AP Spanish Lang, I watched the videos that the College Board put up during the coronavirus. And again, I watched them all on double speed. The reason I say watch these videos on double speed is because you have higher chances of getting through all of them. A lot of people will start to study for stuff and then stop studying because it's taking so long. So they know the beginning of a topic really, really well and not the end of the unit. But when you watch stuff on double speed, you're forced to go through everything. And then if you need to, you could go back and watch a video on normal speed. But this way, you're getting a general idea. Sixth thing I recommend doing is reviewing past essays. Since your teacher probably is only going to be able to grade a couple of your essays every year, you might not be getting all of the feedback you need. I went to the College Board website and I looked up essays from the previous years. You can see the prompts, you can see the documents if it's a DBQ or document-based question. And then you can see examples from students. I think they put one essay for every single score that you could have gotten. So you could see where students went wrong, what students did right. I would analyze all of those, especially for AP Lang. I did this a lot because then you can see exactly what the College Board wants. This really helped me because AP Lang, my teacher gave me 100s on every single essay, which is great because it was an easy A, but I didn't know where I needed to improve at all. Okay, number 7 is to plan out essays. Kind of going back to what we're talking about, you might not have time to do every single practice essay there is in this book, because let's face it, we are busy people. If you just read the essays and you write a plan of how you would write it, that kind of practice and thinking is training those muscles in your brain. So I did that a lot, and it helped, and I still do that. Study habit number 8 is reach out and get feedback from everybody. As obvious as this sounds, if you feel like your teacher isn't giving you the kind of feedback you need, you might have to reach out to somebody else. I took AP Lang on virtual school, so I didn't actually have a real teacher, could not give me any kind of feedback. So I had to reach out to the teachers at my high school, and they were super helpful. I had never had them as a student. They had no idea who I was, but they helped me so much. They gave me so much feedback. And I also asked people, students from the class, to help me. I reached out a lot. And people are really helpful. People usually want you to succeed. And if they don't, then just don't talk to them. So those are the study habits and tips that really brought up my grade a lot, helped me turn into a straight A student, and helped me get lots and lots of 5s on AP exams. So I hope these help. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment them, and I will try my best to answer them. So thank you. I love you guys, and bye.